This is Deontay Williams, and you're watching
Dontae's
Boxing Nation.
This is Showtime Sean Porter.
Filipino Flash, Jesse Burns.
This is Al Bernstein. You're watching Dontae's Boxing Nation.
Hi, I'm Sugar Ray.
Chick Shape.
Sergio the last Snake Warren.
Dontae's Boxing Nation. Boom, 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 boom.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
My name is Gennady Golovkin.
And you're watching
Dontae's Boxing Nation.
Hi, this is Julian Jackson, and this is Dante Boxing Nation.
This is Julia Jackson, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. All right. See if we could get my man Eric Molina on the line and talk about this Anthony Joshua situation.
Hello?
What's going on, Eric?
Nothing, man. Just got to the gym, but I got some time though, man.
Okay. Let's get into it, man. Dante's Boxing Nation. I'm over here with heavyweight prospect Eric Molina. Well, you've been around for a while, so I don't think I have to call you prospect anymore. But anyway, before I get your reaction, Eric, I want to ask you the question. Or a matter of fact, before I get your reaction, let me go ahead and get everyone caught up. Now, for everyone who hasn't been following the news, Anthony Joshua, he was supposed to face Vladimir Klitschko next. Vladimir Klitschko is now pulling out of the fight. Now he wants to fight for the vacant WBA title. And now Eddie Hearn, he just recently said today, matter of fact, that they're looking at possible opponents for Anthony Joshua. And the first name they mentioned was Eric Molina, your name. And they also brought up Brian Jennings and David Price. What was your first reaction when you heard Eddie Hearn bring up your name?
Well, I mean, we had already been in contact with Eddie Hearn, who was thinking about putting together a David Price versus Eric Molina fight on that undercard. But I'll be honest with you, when I first heard the card, Klitschko fighting Joshua, and some of the ideas that Eddie Hearn had that night, and I had a good feeling that I had a shot to fight on that card. So we've been training already, you know. I've been getting ready to fight, you know, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was Price or Joshua, I mean, to me, it didn't matter. I just want to go in there and fight. You know, these other guys say they want to fight. Klitschko saying they want to fight Joshua. These Parker saying they want to fight Joshua. A lot of guys say they want to fight him, but don't really want to fight him.
You know what? You just snatched my next question, Eric, because I was about to ask you that. When you heard that they were trying to match up Joshua with Klitschko, because when I first heard it, I said, it's hard for me to believe Klitschko would take a fight like that against a young, strong lion, undefeated. So I had thoughts that it might not happen. What did you think? So did it surprise you that Klitschko walked away from it, or did you already think that was going to happen?
Well, you know what? If you have the opportunity to fight Lucas Brown or anybody else for another world title, or you have an opportunity to fight Andy Reese for a different world title, you go those routes. I mean, that's what the division is. And we could blame it on business, we could blame it on money, but let's blame it on the real reason. You don't want to go through Joshua to become a world champion in this heavyweight division. That's what's going on with Klitschko and all these other guys.
So
you're going to have 5 champions and 4 or 5 champions, and none of them are going to want to go through Joshua unless they're compensated in an amount that is extreme. So, you know, they don't want to go through that route. But it's fine. It's a business, and I don't blame Klitschko for doing that. I feel like he was once more than what he is now, and it is what it is.
That's interesting, man. I'm glad you broke it down that way, because it gives people an idea of how respected Anthony Joshua is in the heavyweight division as well, by you putting it that way. But I understand what you're saying as well when you say, you know, when it comes to a business move, you know, he can get himself a title, and then I guess he could probably ask for more money if he were to come back to the table with a title at hand already. So that's what it is. Now, obviously, you're willing to take the fight. I mean, because I have a feeling Brian Jennings. I mean, I don't know, but I'm thinking Brian Jennings, he probably won't be interested in the fight. I could be right or wrong, but I know you're interested in the fight. So you're most likely the front runner then, right?
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is like this. You know, I went down. The world put me as a 50-1 underdog when I fought Deontay Wilder. I've been in these big fights. I went down to Poland, defeated Tomasz Adamek in front of 20,000 people. I've been in this fight atmosphere. You know what I mean? I've been to people's backyards in big fights, and I feel like it takes a very strong mental mind to go and perform under these lights. Now, I'm not saying I've always been that fighter, but I've developed into that fighter that could go into somebody's backyard and give them hell. So, can I go to England and put up a good fight and defeat Joshua? Absolutely. Will the world maybe think that? To me, it doesn't matter. But I know what I'm capable of doing. I'm 100% healthy, and I knew they were going to come for this fight. I knew they were going to keep me in mind. I've been training for this fight. I've been training for either Joshua or Price, and as of right now, I'm still in the gym. And I'm still, waiting for Eddie Hearn to make his mind up. So, and even at the end of the day, you have a list of guys that are saying they want to fight him. I'll fight him. I'll fight anybody. I got no problem with it.
Now, you've been in the ring with Deontay Wilder. You put up a good effort. If you could just compare those two fighters style-wise, I mean, who would you probably say? I know you haven't been in the ring with Joshua yet, but who would you say possesses more of a dangerous style?
I mean, to me, from what the Deontay Wilder that I faced in the ring, I've done a lot of work with him outside the ring. After that night, Deontay Wilder brings something to a fight that you have to respect. He brings the aspect of knocking you out at any given second with one punch. And you can say many things about him, that he's got this and he's got that, but he could knock you out with one punch in any given moment. I don't think we can say that about Anthony Joshua. I think we can say other things. He's a great boxer. He's got good balance. He's got good technical skills. He's got great size. He's athletic. He's all those other things, but he doesn't have that factor. So, I can measure both of them out. They're both really good fighters. They're big feared fighters. But Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, is the biggest puncher in boxing.
Interesting.
So that's my opinion.
So you believe his flaws, you believe the flaws that people talk about, if there are any with Wilder, you believe his power, it makes up for the little flaws that he may be criticized for.
Yeah, he's awkward, man. Wilder's awkward. He's tall, lanky. His punches are awkward. He's awkward himself, and that can throw you off a little bit. It can throw fighters off a little bit. And Joshua's more your conventional style, a heavyweight. He throws very good technical punches, and sometimes I just feel like Wilder's style, it makes him even more dangerous. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to box you. He's going to be wild. Is he going to try and, he does some weird things in there. He makes you think. I'm not saying I've never been in the ring with Joshua, but from what I've seen, he's a pretty much stand-up, straight-up fighter. He'll counter you over with the right hand. He's got a big presence. He's got good boxing IQ. So, you know what I mean? But, from what I see, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Excellent breakdown too, by the way, man. Let me ask you, let me just jump off subject a little bit for a second. I always want to ask you about the Chris Arreola situation, because we heard his side, but I never really heard your side. What happened with that altercation after the Wilder versus Arreola fight?
Yeah, you know what though, man? This dates back to when I fought Chris Arreola, man. If the people that can dissect my career and look at it on paper, man, I had no amateur experience. I started as a cruiserweight my whole career. After coming into the heavyweight division on my second fight, Don King throws me in with Chris Arreola. Anybody would have defeated me in the heavyweight division. Anybody. I was weak-minded. I had no experience. I had no confidence. I had no anything. Absolutely nothing. And even considering that, I almost still knocked him out. But anyways, aside from that, the fighter that I was then to who I am now, I mean, if you know anything about boxing, you'll know that I'm not that same fighter. So, Arreola he throws my name around a lot, and he had been throwing my name around, saying, well, Molina went in there with Wilder, and Wilder carried him all those rounds, and Molina sucks, and this and that about Molina. Well, you know what? Tides have changed, man. The waves have changed a little bit, and he became a worthless fighter, and I became, and the tides have shifted a different way for me. I've learned how to fight. I've learned how to be confident. I've learned how to use the things that I can do, and I've become a better fighter. So, if you don't want to give credit to that, I've called out for a rematch for years.
I mean, but what was it that angered Arreola? Did you say something like he quit against Wilder or something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I said that. I said that to his face. Because all week while I was driving to Alabama, he was down there talking shit about me, like if he was going to fight me. He was running his mouth saying, they asked him what Wilder thought about, or what he thought about Wilder's opponents. He said, there's one guy, Eric Molina. That guy fucking sucks. He fucking blows. So why am I going to let him disrespect me all week? When I see him and get in front of his face, I'm going to let him know. He swore up and down all week that he was going to die in the ring trying to become first Mexican heavyweight champion. Look at the fight that he fought with Wilder. Look at the fight that I fought with Wilder.
Yeah.
Tell me which Mexican was willing to die in that ring.
Yeah, you definitely brought it.
So, you know what?
But why is it so personal? Why is it so personal, though? That's what I don't understand.
Because you ask him why he can't get my name out of his mouth. I don't need a Arreola fight. Nobody needs an Arreola fight right now in the heavyweight division. Nobody does. He's done. Man, it's so sad. I was Wilder's preparation to get ready for this guy, and he had harder sparring rounds with me and some of the guys. And I'll tell you, be completely honest with you, if he had any sparring partners and me in there, and he only had one arm to work with, he was going to have a long day. And I knew from the very beginning that I had shared a lot of rounds with Wilder. I knew it was going to be the easiest fight, and I had said, it's going to be the easiest fight for Wilder. And sure enough, he goes in there. But just Arreola was right back. Go back to the media the week of when he fought Wilder. Look at some of the things he's saying about me. So when I see him face to face, I ask him. He said all week that I sucked and that he was going to do way better than me, and that I wasn't worth anything. So he thought he had a better shot. Well, go in there and show me, don't tell me. So once he goes in there and quits on the stool, then I tell him to his face, hey, why did you quit? I thought I sucked and you were going to do better than me, but yeah, you quit on the stool and you're running your mouth. So yeah, I asked him that after the fight. You know what I mean? And that's something that I had every right to ask him. But in his face, I told him that. I didn't do it in an interview or something on the side. I told him to his face. So yeah, I'll be completely honest with you, man. I'm not afraid of any man in this world to share the ring with. Joshua, to walk inside the atmosphere of Alabama, when I fought Wilder as a 50-1 underdog, the whole world saying that I wasn't going to go one round, the whole world saying I couldn't do shit. And to go through that, none of these other fights that you could throw around right now, I don't fear none of them. None of them. Zero. When you conquer nights like that, the rest is easy. You can put me in London, you can put me in Poland, you can put me in LA against Chris, it don't matter. None of it affects me. I'm very strong, mental-minded, and I've become that now. And I'm a very, very dangerous fighter for any heavyweight. That's the true fact.
So you think your experience, it made you better? The experience of being in the ring with all the heavyweights you've been in the ring with, they made you better?
Definitely. I mean, when I fought Chris Arreola, I had 0 rounds of sparring. If anybody knows about the heavyweight division down here in South Texas, it's nothing. I'm the first heavyweight from South Texas in the history of boxing down here. So my resources are nothing. 0. I started boxing when I was 23 years old. No amateur experience. And defied all these odds. So after I fought Arreola, I started mixing it up with some heavyweights. I started getting in the ring. I've been in the ring with Arthur Spilka. I've been in the ring with Wilders, even in a fight, even sparring. I've been sparring all over the country. I've shared 40 rounds in Staverne's camp. You know, I've been around getting in the ring, getting experience, and that's when I was able to find myself and learn the things that I can do and can't do.
And I think the biggest test that you basically pose for Anthony Joshua is your durability. We're going to get to see how Anthony Joshua deals with, you know, being taken to deep waters, right? If you could take him into those later rounds and everything, is that how you?
I can take him to the late rounds, but not only that. One thing that I can do is at any given second, I can hurt him. If Dylan White hurt him, Dylan White's not a big puncher. He's a good fighter, but he's not a big puncher. I can hurt Joshua any split second. He can put me down, I can get up. Look at the Wilder fight. He put me down, I got up, I still won some rounds. Yeah. And I could bring that to him to test him to see how he's going to react to a good shot, because I'll land a good shot on him. We'll see that happen. That has always happened in every fight I've been in. You'll see how he'll take a good shot. You'll see somebody that's willing to get up over and over and over again. And I guarantee you, and this is not just words, you'll see a fighter that's willing to die to win that belt and become the first Mexican heavyweight champion.
There it is. There it is right there. And I really do. I really do hope you can test Anthony Joshua for all the boxing fans, you know, so we can really see what he's made of, or you end up pulling off the upset, you know. So now let me ask you just a couple more questions. Who would you say is the best heavyweight right now? You praised Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Who would you say right now? You got Luis King Kong Ortiz and a couple other heavyweights. Who would you say right now, number one?
Well, you know what? I see Wilder as, I mean, he's injured right now, so I can't, at this moment, I can't really place him number one. But I think that one thing that you have to keep in mind with Wilder is his injuries now for the future. So, you know, how is he going to react to them? You have to throw that in the mix when you answer those questions. So, let's be real here. I'm not gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna sit here and paint a different picture. That being that, with that in the picture, Anthony Joshua is the most heavyweight in the world. He's the most.
You broke up. You broke up a little bit. You broke up a little bit. He's the most what?
I said he's the most feared heavyweight in the world, and he ain't the most feared heavyweight because he's not that fighter that you're asking about. He is that fighter, and all these other guys, they'd rather go around him. They all rather go around him, and hell, they'd all rather not even ever share a ring with him. So, you know, using all those facts in there, it will have to be Anthony Joshua. So,
okay.
I mean, as far as your current champions go, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
As far as the 5 champions.
Yeah.
So,
who wins a fight between Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz? How does it go down?
I say if they take it to New Zealand, Parker wins.
Parker wins in New Zealand?
Yeah, of course. Parker wins. I don't think that Andy Ruiz has the power to hurt and knock out Parker, and I don't think he wins a decision over there. It's not easy.
You know, I was thinking, Eric, when I seen Joseph Parker against Carlos Takam, and he looked to me uncomfortable on the inside on the ropes, and I was thinking if Andy Ruiz were to pressure him and get him on the ropes, he may have a major advantage in that fight. You know, that's.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, definitely the style and the pressure could affect him, and he's definitely gonna fight somebody that's gonna bring that pressure. So, you know, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. I've never really felt that strong about Parker. He's not a big heavyweight. He does not have a big punch. On contrary belief, you could look at all his fights. Show me a fight where he's clean sparked somebody out with one punch. You know a heavyweight's got a hard punch when they can knock you out with one punch, not an accumulation of punches.
Uh-huh.
One punch at any given round. That's when you know that guy's got a good punch. And Andy Ruiz don't do that. Parker don't do that. Joshua don't do that. Luis Ortiz can do that. Deontay Wilder can do that. And there's other fighters that can do that. Those are very dangerous fighters, and I think Parker's very skilled. He's fast, and he is just going to see how he can handle the pressure. It's a good fight, though. I like the fight, you know. Excellent fight.
Well, man, I hope you get this Anthony Joshua fight if Vladimir Klitschko, because it's not official yet. Vladimir, he hasn't completely pulled out, but if Anthony's not fighting Klitschko, I hope you get the fight. Matter of fact, Eddie Hearn, he already reached out to you guys, right?
Well, Eddie Hearn had to reach out for us for a prize fight. But I mean, if you look at any interview and you see what the names he's throwing out, he's throwing my name out first already. So you know, he knows firsthand that we're ready and willing to go fight him. So it's just up to him and Klitschko right now. We'll see what happens.
That's what it is, man. Hey, well, I want to thank you for your time. Anything else you want to say to the fans, man?
Man, I just want to send a shout out to all the fans and stuff. You know, it's hard being a heavyweight from South Texas. I don't get that much coverage, but you better believe I'm putting in work, and I call it the art of bouncing back. I'll continue to do that, and just trying to share my story with the world. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks for your time, man. You take care, and I'll catch up with you when we get an announcement, man.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take care, bro.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!